What's going on, guys? This is Frank Hatzis, and you're in Rope Dart School. Welcome to Rope Dart School, where we talk to dartists who are making massive waves and a positive impact in the worldwide rope dart community. The goal with this show is to introduce you, dear dartists, to what these aspirational figures are doing so that you too can become a living rope dart legend. Okay, I am so excited for our next guest. She is from San Diego, born and raised, and has been rope darting for 6 years. She helps run the San Diego Rope Dart Meetup, which is every Tuesday starting at 5:30 and goes, till you drop. And that happens at Balboa Park, right in front of the Automotive Museum. An avid photographer, she slays both in front of and behind the camera. Considered to be the fairy godmother of rope dart, she quietly, graciously, and generously supports the entire worldwide rope dart community. Believe that. You can find her at all kinds of events, sharing her love and passion for the rope dart. And while nobody's going to understand this thing, thank you for all the pistachios. Ladies and gentlemen, the one, the only Kim Tiffany.
Hi, Frank. This is just an honor. I can't believe we're actually doing this, but I always love talking with you. Congratulations on your son, you and Sarah both. I know you'll have a wonderful time parenting. It's always been a joyful experience for me. Um, and I look forward to meeting him someday.
Well, absolutely. And of course, he has Auntie Kim, and we're excited
Yes.
for him to meet you as well. And we're going to talk about potential times that that meeting can happen. But
Hmm.
before we get into all of that, I would
Okay.
like to begin where we always begin, which is what got you into rope dart?
Photography. Driving around one night, my friend and I were going down Fiesta Island, and I seen this flash in my peripheral vision. What was that? And I see fire going. So let's head on over there. And we met some. It used to be called Thirsty Week Thursday out at Fiesta Island, and we asked if we can photograph. They explained that they were there. They kind of practice. They learn from each other, and I thought, this is great. So I was new at learning how to photograph fire because it can be really difficult. And so we did a practice. We were there every Thursday, and then they said, "Oh, you should come out on Wednesday." Well, there was a Wednesday group as well, but it was all props, everything. And it's still on Thursday with Thursday, but the group was much bigger. So we had Wednesday and Thursday to shoot. And one of the gentlemen there said, "Which prop do you like the best?" And I said, "Oh, I love rope dart." And he says, "Well, wait right there." And went to his van, he came back and he put this in my hand. So I don't know if this is one of yours. It looks like it's one of your originals, but I've kept it. I practice. You can see I put duct tape because I practiced so much on it. And it was like the best thing. It was been the best thing that's ever happened because it's mindful, it's exercise, and being 64 at the time when I first picked up the rope dart, it was something I could do. Besides riding a bike, this was more of a challenge for me. And I thought my goal was to learn the overlord and I would be done. I could do everything else. My forward spins, my back spins, my elbow shot, and the overlord. I would be happy. And of course, it went on from there. Okay, I want to learn that. I want to learn that. And so as time went on and I became older and I can limit some of my shots and even modify some. So now I have, you get arthritis and osteoporosis as you get older. And so with that, I had to modify some of the moves. But I could still do them. And yeah, but the rope dart jam is wonderful. Everybody is so kind, helpful. Everybody learns or teaches one another. So we have the best artists here in San Diego. And I actually think we have the biggest rope dart community. We have over 140 members in our rope dart jam. And our Wednesday group, which is all um, flow artists, there's over 1,000 members in that on Wednesday group. Thursday group has become, I think, is a North County Flow Squad, and that's northern San Diego in the county where they can't make it down to the Wednesday jam, either through work or school, what have you. Then they flow on Thursday nights in their own group there. So that everything is something going on, and which is great. Thursday, the first Sunday of the month, we have what's called the Coven. Again, all flow props. They even have the aerials bring out their rigging. So there's like two or three of those going on. And then when the sun goes down and everybody, the riggers are going, actual yoga go, people go, we all light up our flow props. So that's going on till 10 o'clock, right on the beach. And then and the third, I believe it's the third Saturday in April. It's called World Circus Day. Again, it's like the Coven, except there's stilt walkers come out and the juggler, excuse me, the jugglers, everything in it. So we have a lot going on in San Diego. And if you ever want to come visit, come at the beginning of the month so you can enjoy the Coven, come to our rope dart jam, go to the Wednesday flow group, or go up to the North County. There's so much going on almost all the time.
It certainly seems that way. Who gave you that rope dart?
His name was Phil. You met him at Equilibrium. We were
Oh, okay,
camping together. Yes.
sure. All right, great.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
that's
he lives
awesome.
in New York right now.
Really?
Hmm.
Oh, wow. Do you know a part of New York?
I think Raleigh.
Where is that?
Raleigh?
Raleigh?
Yeah.
Is that in New York? Oh,
That's
it's
what
got to
he
be
told me.
upstate somewhere. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. Upstate has a lot of, I'm assuming, small towns and whatnot. I don't
I
know.
think so. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Very cool. Yeah, I mean, we love the San Diego rope dart scene. I mean, San Diego dart, you guys just have something. It's very special. And, for everyone listening, Sarah and I went there. We saw it. It's like not a figment of anybody's imagination. It's really like the dopest rope dart jam. I've been to a lot of them. I mean, and I love them all. It's not a comparison. The point is go. Even if it's a little bit of a drive, if you don't live in San Diego, if you live close, if I could be at the Tuesday night San Diego Rope Dart Jam every week, I would be there.
Oh,
It would be the only thing I did. It'd be like the one night I'd be like, bye, I'll be gone all night. And that's it.
oh my gosh, that would be a dream,
Yeah.
if we could do that. We have so much fun. And it's like once everybody's doing whatever, someone's teaching, someone's, learning a new move. And then when that's all said and done, then they go into the dart battles. And so it's Calum and Rudolph start with that. And then, hey, you want to do? Yeah. And then there'll be someone's like, I've never done it. What do I do? And we'll show them the rules. And then they have at it. And everybody has a great time.
That's awesome. So I actually want to jump into something else real quick. I want to jump into the thing that got you to rope dart, which is photography. How long have you been a photographer? Because for as long as I've known you, obviously, because you were doing it before you found the rope dart community, but for as long as I've known you, you've always had really beautiful photos. So I'm just curious how long you've been doing this for.
My dad bought my first camera, and this was back in 1964. So this was film camera. And then I quit doing that for a while. And then when the digital cameras came out, DSLR, I picked up one, and that was it. I was constantly outside doing my photographs. And in fact, I brought my camera gear to Dart Arts. And I had about 30 pounds of camera gear on my back. And running through the Detroit for my connecting flight to Syracuse, I pulled something. And because I was running to my next gate, it was so huge that I didn't want to miss my flight. So I had to go down this way, go down the stairs, go up the stairs, run down that way. And I said, let me get to my gate. I want to eat something. And I got to my gate. I looked on the sign. Yeah, Syracuse. Okay. And just as I was walking away to go get something to eat, the lady says, okay, we'll be boarding in 10 minutes. So then, my, oh gosh, something's going on with my leg here. I made it to, I met up with Errol at the airport, and then we took a lift to the Dart Arts. And I'm thinking, well, I'll just stretch my leg out. I was walking back and forth with it, and it wasn't getting better. So then I knew I had to not be able to photograph anybody, but let me do some of the workshops. And I could barely stand really. So I stayed up in the clubhouse area, I guess.
Mhm.
And because it was too far for me to walk down. And I'm still on that. I took some physical therapy for that, but no one really seems to know. They go, oh, you pulled the muscle, but it's still there. But one other thing I want to mention is, ladies, if you're not taking any calcium or vitamin D, please do. I never took any vitamin supplements growing up. And because of that is what I'm suffering now, is osteoporosis in my back. So every day is a challenge for me to just stand up straight. And then I have osteoarthritis in my right hip, which makes it difficult for me to try to do leg weaves. And so I have to just know what my limit is. I have to listen to my body, and knowing that I'm not getting any younger. But I think in my head, gosh, if I had started doing this when I was 40 years ago, I would have, that would have been the ultimate thing for me, because I
Well,
love rope dart.
yeah, and it's never too late, and we're happy you're here. So when a really great person comes into the community, it's like it doesn't matter when they got there. We're just happy they're there now. So
Oh yeah, yeah. A lot of the beginners, I like working with them, and I said, don't feel embarrassed. We all started there. We all started. Every one of us has started where you're at. So if
yeah.
you mess up, no big. We just keep trying and trying, and becomes muscle memory after that.
Right. Well, that's interesting that you're kind of going there, because I wanted to talk to you about your process for learning the rope dart. It sounds like you had an injury for the past year or so, so I don't
Yeah.
know that you've been getting much practice in, but pretend, let's go back a few years ago, or whenever you were really actively rope darting. What is your process for learning something new?
Watching videos. Duncan used to send me videos, tutorials. Um, Will ACB had sent me a video on leg weaves. And then I found out that they were having classes at this is a park called Bird Park in North Park area. And it was with Nick and Rudolph. And so I was going to those every Monday. And then they decided to switch it off. And now Rudolph runs the Tuesday jam. So I try to make it out there as much as possible, not just for rope riding, but socialization. Um and what I love about rope dart for me was there was no running and jumping involved, because I was never a runner. I was never a jumper, and being at my age, I have to be careful. My doctor um told me to be careful because of my bone density. If one fall, you can definitely break a hip, you can definitely break something. And she says, being a type 2 diabetic, she says, your A1C is back to normal. And what are you doing? I said, well, diet and exercise. Of course, my exercise is rope dart. And she starts writing it down. She goes, how do you spell that? I go, well, it's two words, rope dart. And she goes, I'm going to look that up. So I said, it's for me, I can take it at my own pace. I love it. It's still my exercise. I can still get, what I need to do as part of my exercise. And then mentally, I'm learning new moves, and the tech that goes along with it. And that keeps me focused as well. So yeah. And then trying to find seniors at Bell Park. They're watching, and I'm, come join us. And The one woman says, "Okay, I'll give it a try," but she was kind of shy. And I said, "Well, let's go off to the side here." So we
Yeah.
did. I asked, invited her husband. He said, "No, no." And so he watched us, and she said, "Oh, I think this is fun." I said, "Well, we're here every Tuesday," and she said, "Well, we're tourists." Oh,
No,
it's like, okay,
but but it's almost in a sense cooler that they were tourists because now instead of it's like now the rope dart just got pushed outside of San Diego, and
right,
I don't know if these guys are gonna like start rope darting, but if they ever somebody ever mentions it, they could just you know what I like it's just a small flicker of a fire or a flame that turns into a big fire, but you just have to be willing to ignite that flame, and you might have done that, and that couple might never rope dart again ever, but they might convince somebody else to. So it's,
yeah.
I tell everybody just talk about it. Like
Just talk about it.
my mailman knows I rope dart. You know what I mean? Like everybody
So
knows.
does mine.
Yeah. So it's like just anytime somebody asks and make it accessible. I just had an experience where someone wanted to learn the rope dart, and I was actually at this, it was a tournament, and I was teaching it all weekend, and this woman was told by her Sifu, who was also her husband, that she wasn't ready to learn the rope dart. And I was like, you know what? You know who says that? People who can't rope dart. And like, that's just really what the reality is. And
Mhm.
it's true. It's like, I don't like when, if someone that they know that this person can learn the rope dart, they just don't have the ability to teach them. So instead of owning up to their lack of skill, they say that you can't do it. And,
Right.
it just pisses me off, to be honest with you. So
Yeah.
I love that you're really a shining light out there. Like you tell, I know that about you. Like you go up to anybody, oh, here, try it,
Try
whatever.
it. Yeah. To give it a try. And there's been a couple darts that were coming out and working with them, getting them started. And eventually I said, you know what? You take one of my old darts. Go ahead. So you have something to practice with at home.
Yeah,
And they'd come back and they'd show me. And I said, great, let's move on to the next move. And then they quit coming. So I don't know what happened, but it's still in my mind that I say, hey, if even if you have a sock and fill it with beans and tie uh, um, a clothesline rope around it, that's something that'll get you started. And then
for
I always
sure.
hand out, I have those Rope Dart Academy business cards. I give them this, where they can meet, you know, where you can purchase your rope dart, and they're like, wow, okay, thank you. So, and they had one of the students came up with his new rope dart. And I said, oh, you got one. He says, actually, I went to Lightning in a Bottle, and it was at a stand. They were selling a lot of LED stuff, but I saw this purple dart and I said, I'm gonna get this. So he showed up with this purple, I think it's a Emily dart, and he was happy. He was extremely happy with that.
That's awesome. I mean, if it was one of ours, we certainly like to make everybody happy with it. I think we're doing all right with
Oh,
that.
okay.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I
Well,
think so.
when we slip up, folks, don't hesitate to let us know. So, and we haven't gotten anything in a while. So, I guess maybe we're doing all right. Maybe we finally learned our lessons, right? Um, so
Oh yeah.
anyhow, so just going back to something you said earlier, even with regard to the process of learning, it sounds like you've had some challenges in order to, go on this journey of the rope dart. Can you talk just a little bit about those challenges? And when I say that, meaning how it related to the rope dart, if there was a specific time that you just couldn't, because you can go as deep as you want. It's you could share whatever you want. But when it comes to that learning process, the challenges that you perhaps faced, and why you're still here and you're still doing it and you're still such a absolute star in the community.
It all depends on how my body's feeling for the day. I really have to take in account for that. I have to wear lidocaine patches on my back, taking my pain medication. before I get started. And then once I get to the gym, I do my stretches. I feel that's really important. Um, I notice a lot of people don't. But if they can do it without stretching, but I think it's essential to do some stretching. Um, and my family is very supportive, but they always remind me, be careful, mom, take it slow and easy, and okay, and I listen to them.
Mhm.
But challenges wise, I mentally it can be confusing. Sometimes I'll get how did I do that? How did that go? I know how to do it, but how did I start? And I'll see someone do it. Now, okay, that's how I get started. That's how So I kind of have five basics that I can do now. I've had to modify the overlord so that because I can't lift this shoulder, so I have to catch it, and then I do the elbow shot, and then I release. So some of those things I have to again listen to my body and see what I can and can't do. Challenge wise, Rudolph is like one of the best. Rudolph,
Yep.
Calum, we have Simon Wong here, we have Pete Felix, we have Brannikus here, you
Yeah.
know,
Those are all
all great
studs.
artists. Yeah,
All
and then
studs, 100%.
yeah, and they're always willing. What are you working on, Kim? What do you want to learn? And they take it slow for me, and they'll stop and they'll say, okay, you make sure, and I'll let them know I can't do that. I've learned I can't do leg weaves as much as I wanted to because of my hip. Um, my balance, I notice my balance is off. So that's a challenge. Um, but I'm gonna keep going.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna stop.
Well, it seems that, you know, you, I guess the answer to the challenges is your adaptability. You had pointed
Right.
out, sometimes when I do an overload, I just got to catch it with my anchor hand. I can't, and it's like, yeah. So you don't, you find the reason to do it. You don't look for the reason to not do it. I
Right.
can't lift my shoulder. You find the reason to do it or the way to do it. I'll just use my hand instead. And
Hmm.
that's the honorable thing. I don't know. I find it fascinating that so many folks misunderstand this. It's like the honor is in the doing. There's
Yes.
no honor in not doing something because you think you can't. And I tell you, the magic word here right now is adaptability. And
Right.
I hope Dartis really hammer that home because we all have some kind of, not all always an injury. That's pretty extreme, but I've hurt my knee before. Things happen and you learn to walk or to work around it. And sometimes, look, it takes a certain kind of a mindset. Like my mind, I think, is pretty tough. I think
Right.
clearly Kim's is. And if you don't feel like you have a tough mind, pushing through something like that will toughen your mind because that's how we got here. So
Exactly.
be adaptable, and that's how you can push through is embrace adaptability and don't let these things stop you unless you really can't. Like rest happens as well. I don't want to ever tell anybody or encourage somebody to do something that could hurt themselves because that's not what we're saying here.
Exactly. Yeah. And I also, because I used to show horses and, you learn how to fall and roll and things like that. So I think that has stuck with me. So when I do trip and fall, I know to roll with it. However, with rope dart, I've also learned, I guess you fall off a horse, get back on. So as I'm spinning and I hurt myself, I just keep going. I don't care where it hurts. I just keep going. And I've hit the back of my head with a metal dart, and I feel like, oh, I got an egg coming up. I'm still spinning, but I'm not going to stop. And I
Right.
just keep going until I say, okay, I'm done. I check on my head and I said, okay, I'll need some ice. One time I was at the park and I was bleeding, and I'm like, oh, okay,
All right.
just keep going.
Right.
And
I agree. I'd have been pleased. I mean, that was some folks need to hear it, and you know, we're all at different levels, different places. So again, don't do anything dangerous or ever hurt yourself. That's not what Kim's
right.
saying, and I'm certainly
Yeah,
not
that's
saying
just
that.
me. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. but you're allowed to share who you are, and that's who you are. And I embrace that mentality because I think that's where, you know, you get to, levels of not greatness. I don't mean it like that, but
No, no.
maybe more, you get to levels of aspirational. I like that word a lot. Like, because you were also a business owner, right?
I did own a business. I had a flower shop,
Right.
and our busiest weeks were Valentine's and Mother's Day. And some of the flomies, I would say, "Hey, I need a driver. Can you come help me out?" And I know they were looking for a job, and I said, "Yeah, sure." I said, "Come, you're going to drive for a week." And our normal driver would become now the dispatcher and show them how to load the van up with the flowers and sign the delivery log, make sure they got their flowers, put the time down. So that became easy and fun. And this last time I said, okay, everybody's going to take time off to flow. We're all going to go out there. And as busy as it was, sometimes you need to get away. And so we would rope dart out in the back. And then I'd hire my cousin who does massages, and she came out and massaged everybody's neck and shoulders and arms.
Oh,
Yeah,
I need a massage, man. So bad.
and she did that for us. So, I said, take some time. Everybody's working hard. The flower shop business during those holidays is like our Super Bowl. So you start at 7 in the morning and you're working straight through till 3 o'clock in the morning.
Oh,
With
wow.
Yeah, for the whole
Our
week.
business goes hard.
Yeah. So yeah, everybody knows in the industry that's how it is. You have to do that, or else you lose out on sales. So you
Right.
got to get all the orders that are made for tomorrow's delivery, and then keep your stock up within your display area. So it's a constant every day. Loads of flowers that come in. You got to hire a couple people to get those in the uh, ends cut off and put into buckets, put them in the refrigerator. And so it's a constant ongoing thing. And about 5 o'clock, after you're doing counter sales, we start into making tomorrow's orders or tomorrow's display cases. And unfortunately, that's when we couldn't do weddings, for Valentine's. I said, we don't have the time. We honestly cannot have the time to give you justice on what you need for your flowers. And unfortunately, it's going to be truly expensive. And so that was kind of the downfall on things. But for the most part, I loved it. I loved the seasons, the colors, and just working with flowers in general. I just did my best friend's funeral flowers for her, and they loved it. So, under sad circumstances, I was really honored to do that. And my kid and I, who's such a talent with everything, um, we got that taken care of for the family. But business, yeah, it's tough. You have your business, you probably know all the paperwork that goes into it. The behind the scenes, the materials you got to go get, and
Oh, it's insane, Kim. It's actually, and it's only been me now for about a year doing everything. Sarah with the pregnancy and now the baby. It's like I'm doing it all, and it's a lot, you know.
it's a lot.
But again, you just kind of like I just push through it. I don't, that's my way, that's my method. Because I know at the end of the day, I'm going to be glad I did. And that's really what I'm
Hmm.
going
Hmm.
for. I push through things so that at the end of the day, I can be like, dude, you did it. And, you know, I could rest easy because when you're a business owner, I'm sure you can attest to this. Sleep is hard. Not that you're up all night working or making flowers. And I'm sure you did that too, because we've had those nights as well. We're actually doing stuff. But the mind games keep you up at night, or at least
Yeah.
keep me up at night. So, anyone that thinks about going into their own business, and I only encourage entrepreneurship and business ownership. That's all. I will never encourage anybody to go to college and get a job. I swear I'll never do it. Just know that, you're going to have some nights where you're like, crap, what do I do? But it's also in a lot of ways the excitement of life, and it's the melting away of any kind of mediocrity you ever thought. So,
Yes, yes. It's um the pandemic hit us really hard, and then the gentleman was buying the building, and so then I knew it's time to retire. So when that happened, I sold all everything that was in the shop and said, okay, start collecting your Social Security and enjoy life now. So I've been
yeah.
out gardening. I picked up, because of my injuries and I couldn't garden for that time being, I took up watercolor paint. I trained my dog, so she picks things up for me now and goes get my mail, and she keeps me quite busy. So, and I love that.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So with the rope dart, where do you see it going? Like as in the future of rope dart 5, 10, 15, 20 years from now?
Uh, for oh gosh, it's endless. I noticed that everybody's picking up new things. You see new moves going on. I saw your video that you learned from Errol, and I said, "Oh my God, that's crazy!" And Rudolph was out there practicing and doing that yesterday, and we were calling out. I was writing it down, and then because he was kind of losing the sequence of it, and I would, the first part he got it down, but I was going to try to write out the rest of it and just yell it out what the next one was. Um, but he figured it out, and he's just wonderful. I always told him I have the sense of security when he shows up because I know everything's going to be okay. And
Absolutely.
uh, but where rope dart is going in the future, I think it's going to grow,
That
really
well,
grow.
I'll tell you right now, it's definitely going to grow. As somebody that's been doing it for a while, I've watched it grow. It's actually
Yeah.
what's nice is that even that growth is now picking up. It used to move
Mhm.
at the speed of a snail, and now it's moving a lot faster. So, but continue what you were saying. It's absolutely going to grow. But maybe let me be more specific. Maybe what other genres do you see it fitting in, or just where do you think the future of it is? Absolutely going to grow, but how? In what way?
I would like to see more singers doing this. Even if it's just a forward spin figure eight, it's something to get them out of the house, to do some kind of exercise. That's how I loved so much about it too. Not just because I think it's great watching it, and that's what inspired me to want to start, but it's great exercise.
You know,
And
I don't mean to interject here. Actually, I just thought of who would be like the best person to do that.
what do you mean?
So you're saying you want to see more seniors doing it to like
Yeah.
introduce it to them. And I was like, oh, like, who would be really great at, doing that?
I don't know. It's just like I said, a Bella Park
You,
is.
you. The answer
Oh,
is you, Kim. You are the answer.
well, thank you. It's one of those that at least introduce it. Just talk to some, especially people will stop and watch. I love that part. Say, hey, you want to come in and join us? They go, are you sure? Yeah. And you know, we have a lot of great teachers here that can show you and get you started. If you like it, love it, come back. If you want to just try and go, oh, okay. It's something I tried anyways. Like you said, get the seed planted.
Yeah.
Hopefully that maybe they'll come next week, maybe they'll come the week after, and see where it goes. I think the flow community is the big thing too, because everybody talks about Wednesday. Well, where you going to be at tomorrow? And everybody's going to be spinning fire out there, and um, people that just learn something or they want to. I'm going to try that tomorrow, and I said, really? That's great. They want to get that into their little repertoire and start spinning with that. So that's kind of exciting to watch. I think teaching beginners and seeing them get a move, that just excites me. I jump up and down
Oh
and
yeah. No, my
yeah.
favorite, my favorite people to teach are beginners. Yeah, I just I love it. I
Yeah.
think they're the best. And I like learning from advanced artists. And I like teaching advanced artists, but it's kind of like I'm really at a point where I'm learning from them. It's not, oh no, it's true. Like I get it. Like maybe 10 years ago, a lot of artists, and I'm saying this like as a humble brag or whatever, but it's like, yeah, 10 years ago, I'm sure a lot of rope artists were learning from me. But it's
Mhm,
like, it's probably less now, and that's good because that means the pool of great teachers expanded, and that's really the goal here. So
mhm.
I feel I'm way more. I'm not even trying to sound like old Zen or anything. Like at this point, when you have such great rope artists out there, I really
Right.
feel like I'm a student all over again. I really do. It's nonstop. Now that the kid is here and he's growing, Sarah and I are going to start crushing partner choreography. Watch out, everybody. Just
Oh
I didn't even mean to put it out there
yeah.
like that, but I'm saying, dude, like, oh my God, we're coming for everybody when it comes to rope dark choreo. You guys are all screwed. No, I'm kidding. I love you all. I love
That's yeah, that's up and coming. You see Adam,
Oh my God, we love that. That's it. Dude, are you kidding? I'm copying his moves, man. And
yeah, he's awesome.
everybody should. You should be. Look, if you're into partner rope dart choreography, you should be copying Adam Bush. Period.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Um, yeah, Adam has come down to rope dart with us. Errol's come down to rope dart with us. And that was truly great moments that, you see them come out and rope dart with you and what can you say? It's like, oh my God, this is great. So to see more darters come out would be fun. We look
Absolutely.
forward to it. Yeah.
I mean, I would love to just take a long weekend. Well, I guess it wouldn't be a weekend because you guys have like the really cool stuff to do. It sounds like it's from like Tuesday to Friday kind of a thing. I would
Hmm.
probably come in for, during the week or something, hit up all
Yeah.
the jams, hang out
All the
with
jams.
Dart
And they're
fam.
every week. They're
Yeah,
not once a month, they're every week they're going on. And it's getting bigger and bigger. The last time I went to a Wednesday jam last year, so many new people that I've never met. There was the OGs were there, of course, and it was good to see them. But there were so many. It was probably another 30 people that I'd never seen before coming to the jams now.
that is so cool. I tell you, if I came, I would love to gift a workshop or two or something. Just
Oh,
absolutely. Just, whatever, that it doesn't interfere or conflict with any of these other amazing things you guys are doing. I will 100% come down and teach whatever the hell anybody wants, really. I like when there's a nice range of folks. I've been doing master classes lately where
oh.
you just be patient and know that I will get to you. And it's pretty
Hmm.
quick,
Hmm.
a minute or two, but I kind of hop around. I did it back in at ICMAC, the tournament I spoke of earlier this past time. It really went well, just because
Uh,
the final class. It's like everybody out there. It's like, guys, you can learn rope dart. What ends up happening is
right.
folks see that there's rope dart workshops happening. Oh, I can't learn that, but all their friends go. All their friends learn the basics. They look fantastic. They start doing good. And then by the end of the weekend, they got, oh, I should have taken the go. What can you show me, man? It's like, bro, I'm already teaching. Like, we're already down the rabbit hole, brother. You were supposed to come with us,
Yeah.
and then, but what the positive is that then that turns into what I'm calling a master class. And I think you should have a lot of rope dart experience out there before you start teaching master classes because you need to have a range of teaching skill and ability and experience. And anybody
Hmm.
can. It's open to anybody, but just get the experience is all I'm saying.
Right. I think at a rope dart jams, like you'll have someone teaching beginner, and then once they've advanced more, then you have someone teaching more intermediate moves, and then you have Rudolph or Caleb showing them beyond that, uh, more advanced moves, and that's good to see. The Coven will have a schedule on workshops, and that's donation. And I tried the Diablo, and they have Slackline out there, and anybody can walk up and someone will say, oh, you want to give it a try? So I saw a video, someone was teaching fans, someone else was teaching poi. So they have all these, kind of like a festival where they have all this schedule on who's teaching what at what time.
That is so cool. Oh,
Yeah.
San Diego. Let me tell you, if I could really live, I love Brooklyn, I love Bay Ridge, but if I could live anywhere else on the planet, San Diego, California, there's no
Oh, yeah.
question. For the rope dart, it's like, look, I come for the rope dart and I stay for the sunshine. Like, give me a break already. The nice people, everybody's nice, and
Everybody's
it's
nice.
seemingly, I don't know, but it's probably
Yeah.
way nicer than New York City people, that's for sure, right? You know.
I've been in New York. I like New York.
No,
It was
we
fun.
we are. Look, I'm not talking smack about New Yorkers. We are, in fact, awesome and very
Yes.
kind, loving people. But we could also be extremely rude and abrasive. Like we know that about it. And I just feel like places like San Diego, everybody is loving and kind, and they're also not really rude and abrasive. Because I don't, that's the part I don't like. There
Yeah.
is an aggressive nature to New Yorkers, no doubt. And I'm kind of over it. I just want to be around people that want to rope dart and not like, I don't know, argue.
On the beach, you can't,
Yeah.
it's beach weather now, so everybody's out at the beach. I love uh flowing out the beach, whether it's I got into boogieing and I take my poi out there, and I don't take my silk darts out there, my cobra, because of the water and the sand and things like that. But I do take my metal dart out there, my dragon tooth, and I just love it being out in the sand and spinning in the sunshine. It's great. And there's a
Absolutely.
lot of nice parks around too. If you don't want to go that far out to the beach, they have a lot of nice parks. I have one that's like a couple blocks away that I will walk to and spin out there.
That's well, one thing New York City does have are a lot of parks. So, you know, that's where we go. We have a beautiful
Hmm.
park that we walk down to right on Shore Road. We're right by the water. You can see the,
Oh, nice.
yeah, New York City skyline, but you're in Brooklyn, and it's really beautiful. We love to rope dart down there. Uh, yeah, I mean, Bay Ridge is wonderful, and
Oh, that's nice.
yeah, but San Diego is definitely like,
San Diego, I love San Diego. I've been to a few other states and cities, and San Diego, I love the weather.
yeah,
The only downside is apparently there's a lot of homelessness. I can attribute probably due to the weather. You know, you get your snow in the winter, you have to drive 40 minutes while if you want to go play in the snow for the day. Then you come back to the beaches. You can go out to the desert all in one day.
right,
And
yeah,
yeah, there's a lot to do in San Diego.
for sure. Well, with regard to rope dart, what is your message to rope dartists everywhere?
To keep practicing, definitely, just to be consistent. And I think that's what makes our rope dart jam successful is consistency. Somebody's always hosting. And we have a list of hosts that could take certain dates. So that one person isn't always in charge. So you bring your speaker out for music, and you're there to greet everybody that shows up. Uh, so it's the same thing with practice. You learn something, go home and practice that move constantly over and over and over. And then the muscle memory kicked in, and you come back to follow it. Look what I did. And it's like, yeah, now we'll go on to another move. And so I don't think, no matter what age you are, when I've talked to seniors, and I can't do that, I'm too old. I said, look, I'm 65. And they're, oh, okay. So we'll just start off with some really easy stuff so they don't hurt themselves, make them feel confident and comfortable. And I just turned 70 in May. So to me, that's a milestone for myself that I'm even up and walking about and let alone doing rope dart. So that's also my inspiration that I can do this.
Absolutely. Beautiful. Well said. And the last thing I'm going to ask you is if you can rope dart with anybody for one weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, any one rope dart anywhere in the world, who would that dartist be and why?
Well, definitely you for
No, 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 come on. Well, listen, if you're gonna that like cool, but then it's not like well me and somebody else. If you want to say me, that's fine. That sounds weird for me to say that, but whatever. But it can only be one, is what I'm saying. So you can think about it. It does not have to be me. Uh,
Well, definitely you. If I had to choose one person, it would be you. And I
no,
flow
no,
with,
no, 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 I no, it can't
if
be
I had
somebody
never
else.
flowed with before.
Wait,
If
what?
I've never, if you're talking about someone I've never flowed with
No,
before.
just it doesn't have to be somebody. It could be somebody that you have or have not. It doesn't matter who it is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's just who would you spend that weekend with rope darting?
Um, Probably Duncan.
Nice. You are the second person to say Duncan Trahan
Uh-huh.
as the person they would rope dart with for a weekend.
Yeah.
What makes you
He
say that?
actually got me he actually got me started. Phil gave me the rope dart and just forward spin, elbow shot, back spin. That was it. And Duncan was the one who was sending me tutorials on Messenger, and we became friends on Rope Dart Tech. And so he would comment on anything I would say, and we became friends on Messenger. And for many years, and he just would pop in a tutorial. I say, "How do I do an overlord?" And he was the one who taught me how to do. That was on my plateau. If I can learn the overlord, I'll be good. And so he sent me the tutorial one step at a time. And I said, okay. And I finally got it. And I sent him the video and he's like, yeah. So I would have to say Duncan's the one who really inspired me to keep going. And I was 64 at the time. And um, he'd always, very inspirational. You're doing a good job and things like
Yes.
that. And
Sure. Yeah, no, Duncan is awesome. I had the opportunity to meet and rope dart with him at TN Ember, which was a festival run by Zeus Bigelow down in Tennessee.
oh,
Yeah,
uh-huh.
and it was awesome, and I hope he does it again and invite me back. It was wonderful. But I met Duncan there, and yeah, we just nerded out about rope dart. He loves to rope dart, and it's like it's obvious, but he's really like a fun down to earth dude. Like he's
Oh
like a
yeah.
guy's guy kind of a thing. Like I really like that guy a lot, and you would have the a blast with Duncan Trahan, 100%.
I think if I were to fly anywhere, I would love to fly up to Mississippi to meet him and do a weekend of flow and bring home what he's taught me, you know.
Well, there is this really amazing event called Dart Arts where dartists from all over the world are encouraged to attend. Maybe
Right.
you and him can both go there because let me tell you something. So many dartists out there would receive benefit from you and Duncan being there. So,
Yeah, he totally inspired me in the beginning. I haven't heard too much about him lately. He's going through some things right now, but um I just love the guy.
yeah.
He's fun. We have the same kind of sense of humor and uh it was always there for me when I was going through some trying times. So he would check on me and how you doing, you know. So and I appreciated that a lot.
He's a
Um,
good man. He's a good man.
he's a
Yeah.
really good man. But
Yeah.
yeah, Dart Arts. I'm looking forward to trying to get there this year. I missed last year.
No,
And
you were
then I
there.
had
What?
this
You were there last year.
no, I was in the year before, the second year I went. I didn't go last year. And I had
Yeah.
a serious case.
Last year was
Huh?
the second year.
No, it was a third year. I missed
Wait.
it last year. I didn't go the first year. I went to the second with 2023.
Yeah.
So I did.
It's only been 2 years. Last year was the second year, but it's okay. That's like whatever.
Oh,
I'm pretty sure you
well,
were there though, but whatever.
and I had a serious case of FOMO and I didn't go. And so I'm going to try and make it this year. And I have to check and see about Rudolph, if he's got his, I know he's going, but maybe we can fly together and get there. I
Sure.
don't know if Caleb's going, but
Yeah, he didn't go last year. But it'd be great if you did come this year. We like him.
Yeah. 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 See and you know what the best part about dart arts is you're friends with all these great dartists on Facebook and you get to meet them there. They're there. And I was like, oh my gosh, there's so and so, there's so and so. And it was like I was so excited to see them and meet them in person.
Yeah. I mean, look, we could do a whole nother hour and I'm talking about dart arts and why it absolutely
Yes,
cools and it's the ultimate rope dart
it
experience.
is.
But I actually have to make rope darts. So there you go.
There you go.
Uh, but Kim, thank you so much. Before we leave, is there any last message you have for anybody? Or I mean, we've talked about a lot. Uh,
Keep taking your vitamins. Wear sunglasses. If you can't, if you can't because you're darting, that's understandable. But if you don't, I'm now getting cataracts because I didn't wear sunglasses before, and I could still see far, but in this eye I can't see face. So it's the beginning stages of cataracts, and my optometrist says you need to wear sunglasses. So that's my other, you know, if you're outside, wear sunglasses as much as you can.
Absolutely. Well, you heard it there. Wear sunglasses, take your vitamins, and
Vitamin D and
eat
calcium.
vitamin D and
Yes.
calcium. And
Especially the women who go through menopause, their bone density becomes worse. So that's why 1 in 4 men get osteoporosis as well. So, but because of the hormone levels drop after menopause, that's where your bone density and you can break a hip. You can, when I hit my shins, it's one of those, well, I'm taking a step, so it's not broken because I don't want to stop. I hate to stop when I hit myself. I just want to keep going.
yeah,
And the main thing with the metal dart is I don't want to become afraid of it. So that's why that was another thing to keep spinning no matter where I hit myself, just keep going, keep going.
absolutely. Everybody out there, rope darters, keep going.
Keep going.
Definitely. Well, again, thank you so much, Kim, for
Oh,
joining
thank
us.
you.
You're an absolute gem and a stud in this community, and we love you. You're the best. So thank you for
Oh,
being
thank
here.
you. Thank
To
you. It's
everyone,
been an honor.
definitely. To everyone else, thank you so much for tuning in. Peace, love, dot life.